Figuring out a new phone or an app can be challenging, especially for some of us who didn't grow up using a cell phone or a laptop every day. In 2015, Teen Years was born at a startup event to meet two needs: help seniors learn how to effectively use technology and create job opportunities for youth. Producer Sarah Gustavus sat down with the founder and two Teen Years to talk about how the needs and skills of different generations can complement each other.
The motto of Teen Years is tech-savvy teens and young adults who help seniors learn technology through one-on-one personal coaching. And here to help us better understand what that means is founder Trish Lopez. And we also have two Teen Years with us today, Kendra Gonzalez and Caitlin Akron. We're so excited to have you at KNME. Trish, start us off. What makes Teen Years different than other services? I'm thinking Best Buy or places where people might go to get some tech support.
Great question. So Teen Years does provide technical support, but it's in a different way. Our goal is to empower older adults to connect with their loved ones, engage with their communities and the world through technology, while providing paid, meaningful jobs for teens and young adults. So we're not trying to be like, there, I fixed your problem, okay, we'll see ya. It's very much like, here, you're gonna hold the device. I'm gonna point and direct what to do. Like, that's kind of our golden rule of thumb, is they are learning, we are tutoring. So it's not, we're fixing your problem and we're off. We want you to better understand the technology at your fingertips.
Yeah. Kendra, so what happens when you sit down with someone for the first time?
We usually ask them, how long have you had your device, your computer? What are the three main things you want to focus on today that we can help you with, sometimes more. Then they kind of like work us through like what they need help with, and then we try to let them hold their device, not us hold it, so it's not just us just pointing at everything. Then we just take as long as they need. Sometimes they write notes, because with being older you have to memorize everything, so it's better just to write it down. Then we just get to the problem, and at the end everyone is very happy.
What are some examples of things you've helped people with?
I've helped this lady. She wanted to learn how to take pictures with her phone and save it and then send it to her daughter. So we did that, and she didn't know about the front camera to take selfies. So I showed her and she got all excited. She said, oh my gosh, what's this? Look, it's me, no, turn around, I want to see myself. But then we took some selfies, and I took some with her. So she's like, I want to show my daughter who's teaching me. And then she sent to her daughter a text message and an email, and it was the greatest experience.
Yeah. Caitlin, do you find that some people, it's better for them to work with you versus maybe they've tried to have a family member who's gotten frustrated with them? What's different about when they work with you on a problem?
I feel like there's just a different situation going on, you know, and I've seen this with my own mom. Like, somebody comes to me at Abbott to help them, but when it comes to my mom, like, I still can't, and I know what I'm doing. So it's just a different type of relationship, and I feel like when you're working with your family members, it might be hard for your parents to like listen to their kids telling them how to do something, whereas people who come in to work with us maybe have kind of sort of gotten over that a little bit. I mean, it's always a little bit hard, but they're ready for the help. Yeah. And it's just a different relationship.
I can see that. And so what are some of the things you've helped people with?
I've done, everything from just how do I call my kids on this new smartphone thing to like my MacBook crashed. I even had somebody come in with his little service dog, and he wanted me to help him get through the online process to get that dog registered with the service organizations. Just all types of things.
Yeah. What skills do you think someone needs to be successful in your job?
I would say lots and lots of patience for one thing, and also good communication skills. Like, you have to be able to read a person's body language and tell that they're frustrated or that they don't understand, because they won't always like speak up and say, hey, go slower or something like that. So you have to be able to see that.
And Kendra, what about you? What skills do you find yourself using?
Communication, customer service, making sure that they're comfortable with what I'm teaching them, that they know how to use their phone, and just making sure they're not too stressed out. And then at the end, making sure that they have a big smile on their face and that they're happy. And then that makes me feel happy, and it's like an addiction.
Trish, do you want to add to that skills that you find teen years are coming in with or learning on the job?
Yeah, like a lot of parents or anyone will come to me and say, oh, I love what Teen Years is doing. I want my kid to be a teen year. It's so good with technology. And that's definitely a requirement. But even on our website, when you're applying to become a teen year, what we really try to stress is kindness, patience, punctuality, professionalism. Those really are, to me, more important skills because you are becoming the teacher. And most kids are not used to stepping into that role of kind of the authority figure, teaching someone who's in a very vulnerable position. Kendra said something earlier that I really liked, which is a lot of our clients are very emotional. And I consider it a gift that we get to help them because they are emotional, they are in a vulnerable state. A lot of them haven't had good experiences with people who've tried to help them with tech support. And so our teen years come in and the first thing I look for when I meet them for an interview is this person patient? Are they kind? Would they be able to repeat something several times and not get frustrated? As well as having that tech skill. And so I echo what I echo what you guys are saying.
Yeah, and for young people, who is this a good fit for as a job versus maybe other jobs might not be such a great fit?
Right. Well, when I was growing up, I was working at McDonald's as one of the many jobs that I did as a teenager. And, they put me at the front counter because it was like, it's all about being personable. We require that same set of personable skill set, but really, I think teen years speaks also to a lot of kids who don't want to be on the front counter at McDonald's, who don't need to be the center of attention or the life of the party. They are much better in one-on-one settings or small group settings. They really appreciate having that intimate kind of discussion, and they really shine in these situations. So if you're introverted, maybe shy, even in a lot of cases socially awkward, we've seen such amazing self-confidence develop in these kids through this work.
And let's talk some more about the specifics. Where does this happen, this tech support?
Oh, great question. So we rent office space at Fat Pipe in downtown Albuquerque. So if it's teen years works in two ways: individual, private coaching sessions and group events. It's always one-on-one. So individual session, your mom calls and says, "Hi, I would love to learn my new iPad." Well, then we say, "Okay, would you like a private coaching session in our offices downtown? Or for $10 more, would you like us to come to your home?" And then we use an over 18-year-old teen year in those cases. Group event might look like a senior living community contacting us and say, "We've got 15 residents here, they all have different devices, they all have different questions, can you help?" And then we'll bring 6 or 7 of our teen years, pair them up based on skill set, and be there for 2 hours, giving each one an hour coaching session.
Some of the teen years are over 18, but they're still going to people's houses by themselves. How do you make sure that they're safe?
So we do what everyone else does who has anyone working for them, like the cable guy, for example. How do you make sure that people are safe when the cable guy comes over? How do you make sure the cable guy is safe? The answer is there's not always 100% that you could, there's never a guarantee that you can make every person safe. We've just had fantastic experience. We've learned from all of our experiences, and we've never had a bad experience where someone wasn't safe. So all of our teen years, it's important to remember, are never in a situation alone. The under 18-year-olds are always supervised by adults, always. The over 18-year-olds, just like with the cable guy, are going to your home knowing everything that we can possibly know in advance. And through the age of Google, we can learn a lot as far as researching people. But as far as our teen years, we screen, orient, interview everyone. They all fill out an application. 99.9% of our teen years are recommended and referred by parents, teachers, or other teen years. So we've had really fantastic experience with that, and I would say that we are on par with any other company who has young people going out into the field.
How often are people doing this for you?
This is one thing I'm glad you asked. It's like several hours a month at this point. So it's perfect for a teenager who's in high school, who has extracurricular activities going on. It's perfect for someone who's working or in college, because we can't provide the kinds of hours that like Denny's can provide. But I feel that this is such meaningful work that even if you get a few hours in a month, it really has a huge impact on your life.
Kendra, can you talk about that? How is this fitting in with your own educational and career goals?
I started CNM in the spring, so it's been great. It's been really flexible working with my schedule. With teen years, I can do weekend, I can do morning. Like before in high school, it was kind of difficult because I'd always be there. But I did like online, so it wasn't too bad. But I'm also looking for another job at the same time, but I'm keeping with teen years because I love it so much, and I don't want to leave ever.
Yeah, what do you want to do? What are you interested in?
Computer forensics, but right now the stepping stone is cybersecurity.
Oh, Caitlin, what about you? How do you see this fitting in with the other things you're studying and what you're interested in?
So Teen Years is really flexible, which has really helped me out. I'm going to be a senior in high school this year, and I do a lot of, I have schoolwork, I do take a college class, and I play on the varsity tennis team. So I also want to have that job, but Teen Years gives me the flexibility to do all those other things as well. I don't know as far as moving forward. I absolutely would love to stay with Teen Years through college, but I also kind of envision myself going away to another state for college. But I think, my family's still going to live here. Teen Years still going to be here. So, I could totally see myself like some of the other Teen Years coming back over break and saying, hey, I'm available for now.
Yeah, interesting. Trish, do the young people who are working with Teen Years represent the diversity of New Mexico? We've got so many different experiences people are having across our state.
Yes, I think they do, and still I'm always trying to bring in more. So our teen years come from all walks of life, from public schools, private schools, homeschooling, online schooling. They come from all different parts of the city. And yeah, I would say that, and they're also coming from all different age groups. So when I first started building Teen Years, I thought it would be like 16 to 19-year-olds, because that's just what I was thinking. But then it was like my 12-year-old niece was like, well, why can't I do it? And I was like, and because when we're doing volunteer events, there's tons of supervision all the time, unless you're doing a home coaching session. And so I started slowly expanding the age range, and now we hire 15 to like 29-year-olds. We've had teachers apply to become Teen Years. There's been such interest, not only from people who need the help that we offer, but also from the young people who are interested in doing this work. And a lot of them have said, to your point earlier, I'm not a fan of the restaurant jobs I've had. I love that I get to do this. This is so much more meaningful than what I've done in other jobs as a young person.
Kendra, what's some advice that you would give to either young people who want to participate in something like Teen Years, or a young person who's wanting to maybe start their first job?
To make sure you can work with everybody. You can also be independent, punctual, and just go with the flow, and just be confident in what you're doing. And even if it's something that you're not too comfortable with and you're like kind of hesitating with, just go for it, because it's worth it in the end.
Caitlin, you have advice you want to share?
I would say just, a lot of what Kendra said, you got to just put yourself out there. It's kind of hard, but you can do it. And, just have confidence in the skills you do have, and then you'll learn tons more. Everybody at some point had to learn first job skills, so.
That's so true. Trish, how do you see Teen Years growing?
I'm really excited because through a few different partnerships this past year, including Comcast this May, including a grant from Albuquerque Community Foundation this month, we are able to expand and reach much more, many more areas of our New Mexico community, as well as more seniors who can't afford to pay. So my goal right now is just to keep Teen Years sustainable. I want to see it exist year after year, which is the hardest part. And then whether we can grow into other cities and other states is something that we can talk about in the future.
Explain that a little more about seniors who can't pay. How are you getting the support to cover that cost for them, but ensure you can still pay the young people who are providing that support?
Great question. So Teen Years started as an LLC, mostly because I could not get the funding to create Teen Years unless we started as a business. And then pretty soon, last year, we developed a nonprofit arm because I want to help so many seniors who can't afford to pay. So there are those who can, older adults who can, and certainly the living facilities they live in can, but there are so many who can't afford to pay, and I want to make sure we're serving both populations. So through grants, through these partnerships like with Comcast, with Albuquerque Community Foundation, we've been able to still pay our young coaches while also providing that service for free to the clients.
Well, Trish, thank you for being here, and thank you, Kendra and Caitlin. We really appreciate hearing about how Teen Years is developing, and we'll check in with you again in the future.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sarah.